Bailey, you and I are getting a divorce. I'll send you the divorce paperwork. So make sure to hand that all in for me.
Huh? What is all of this about, Matthew? Would you cut it out with this weird joke?
This is no joke. I am being very serious about a divorce right now. I want you to please get this divorce with me right now. And I mean right now.
Hold on a second. I have no idea what's going on here. The moment that your brother's funeral was over with, you said you had things back at your family's house and left me. And now it's been a whole day of me hearing nothing from you, and now you're finally going to say something and it's about a divorce? What the heck is going on here?
Well, about my little brother Mark. I spoke with my mom and dad about him. Bailey, I'm going to get a divorce from you, and then I'm going to marry the much younger, now single wife of my dead brother.
What? Your little brother's wife? You're telling me you're going to get married to his wife, Amy? Matthew, you're not helping me understand all of this any better, you know. Her husband only just passed away, right? This has to be some kind of a sick and twisted joke now, right?
I told you this is no joke. Are you done freaking out now? Mark ended up dying in that car crash, right? And that means his wife, Amy, is now a single widow. And those two already had 2 little kids together, who are now without a father. She needs someone there to help her, right?
Wait, yeah, I'm sure things will be tough for her from here on out, but Matthew...
There's no way I can leave that single, heartbroken woman to take care of 2 kids and work a full-time job all alone. That's why I'm going to marry her and help support her young family. There also seems to be a lot of money coming in from my brother to her that he's left behind. I'm worried that a single young woman like herself wouldn't be able to defend herself from those that want to steal her money. Wouldn't it be best that I'm there to protect her? This is for Amy and her 2 kids. So, what do you think? Let's get this divorce over with.
What do I think, Matthew? Is this something that Amy herself is agreeing with? Why would she ever want to marry you when you're already married to me?
This is what my parents and I have decided on, alright? We haven't said anything to her yet, but there's no way a young woman like herself would say no to me. She happens to be in love with me already as we speak.
You're telling me that Amy, your brother's wife, has been in love with you? What the heck? This is the first time I'm hearing anything about this.
You always have been a slow one. If you'd just been looking at the way she acts when she's around me, then you'd understand how she thinks of me. I know for a dang fact that she loves me with every ounce of her heart.
Wait, there is no way that's the case. How could she be into someone like you?
Hey. You'd better stop getting so jealous, you old hag. I'm sure you're jealous of the fact that she's not only young, but has 2 kids of her own already, right?
Huh? You think I'm jealous of something like that?
You have always been a pretty useless wife to me, considering the fact that you can never get pregnant. I get that you're dying to be like her, but getting all jealous over her is not going to help you fix your god-awful issues.
This is making no sense right now.
If you're going to start getting jealous over anything, then perhaps you should be jealous of all the women in the world that can actually make a baby. Well, anyways, I'm going to get married to Amy. She's young, she's beautiful, and there is not a single thing wrong with her. And when it comes to my little brother's money, it's all mine.
Ah, so that's what this is about then. You're really just into her for the money. That's pretty disgusting of you, if I'm being honest.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but at least I'm not the aging old hag with no children. And let me just say that my mom is totally on board with all of this. After I get married to Amy, we are going to take her kids and move back home into my parents' house. I will be able to get those stacks of money, and Amy will get herself the protection and support she needs. And as for my mom and dad, they will finally get the grandchildren they have been waiting so patiently for. This plan will leave all 3 parties satisfied, right? And my mom has told me there's no need for you in this family anymore. She told me that if I'm bringing a young beauty back home with me, and her 2 kids, to throw you out. Recently, both my parents have been in kind of a bad mood about things. So I'm sure once I bring them some grandchildren home, those 2 will go right back to being happy parents again.
You really just love to go on and on about random crap that's wasting my time. What was that? Almost 4 minutes of you just talking there? Well, I'm glad to see that you and I being married meant absolutely nothing. And that this whole time you've probably been scheming with your parents to get rid of me for Amy.
It's your fault for never doing your job as my wife and bearing me any kids. Just know that it's over between you and I. Sign those papers, and then get the hell out of my life.
All right then. I'll give you that divorce if it's really what your whole family wants. I wouldn't want to continue being married to you anyway after hearing that mouthful. Just know that in this divorce, we'll be splitting half our properties between one another. And after that, I don't even want to bother with you anymore, so I'll refrain from making you pay me a settlement or anything. You go ahead and handle the lease on this apartment. I'll send the papers to your parents' house, and then you can hand them into the courthouse.
As long as you give me this divorce, you can do whatever you want with it. Bye-bye, you old hag. Try better to not be thrown away by the next man you meet, okay?
So that's what I know from Matthew so far. Do you have any clue what's going on here, Amy? Wait, what are you talking about, Bailey? I had no idea any of that was going on behind my back. You're telling me I'm going to have to marry my brother-in-law? No frickin' way I knew about that. Absolutely no frickin' way. I'm still having to cope with the loss of my husband right now, and yet they're talking about something as crazy as that? And that Matthew's even gone as far as to ask for a divorce from you already? This can't be happening right now. What the actual hell is going on right now? That's what I'm wondering. I guess my idiotic husband is going on some kind of crazed money hunt. Bailey, I really don't want to say this to someone like you, but I have always hated Matthew and my mother-in-law. Many times before, when I'd go to their family gatherings and events, Matthew would always try and get close to me and touch me even. His mom and dad would also laugh about it and say some of the most disgusting things sometimes. Also, my mother-in-law would always harp on about me having kids with Mark. And then when I finally had my first kid, she acted like they didn't mean much to her anyway because she wanted Matthew and you to have kids. There were times where both you and Mark would be around to get her to lay off me. But even still, I can't stand being around that woman. Amy, you don't have to be worried about telling me you hate them. I freaking hate them all as well, and it's time something was done about it. All of them are screwed in the head, and we don't have to cater to any of that. By the way, after the funeral just ended, they all started to ask me how much money Mark left behind. They were asking me if it'd be tough living on my own with 2 kids, and if I needed a new man in my life. All of it was kind of vague at the time, but it all still made me pretty upset and surprised to hear. What? Those assholes were asking you things like that at Mark's literal funeral? I am so sorry that we have to be related to them all. Related to those animals! No. You don't have to apologize for any of that. You did nothing wrong. So please don't feel sorry about it. I just hope you understand that I will not be getting married to Matthew no matter what. I don't need a man in my life to make things work. And if I eventually do, then I'll choose someone far more deserving of being my husband than that pig. Thank you so much for confirming that for me. All right, Amy. Now, if any of those freaks start to come to you saying things, tell them you still need time to recover from your loss and buy me some time. Buy us some time. I'm going to work on ending things once and for all between us and them. So let's cut these ties as soon as possible. Sounds great. I'll make sure to keep them at bay. And thank you so much, Bailey.
Bailey! There's a major problem. Amy ran away.
Huh? What's all of this about now, Matthew?
Today I went over to Amy's place to go see her. I thought she would have finally calmed down by now, and so I was going over to start talking about the marriage with her. But when I had gotten there, she had already moved out of the house. She took all that money from Mark and ran away from me. That witch! She also sent a message to the courthouse saying she was changing her name back to her family's name, along with her children, so that she isn't a part of our family anymore.
I don't care how much you think she ran away from you. That money she got after Mark's passing was meant for her only. You should have no problem with her taking that money because it was never yours. And as for that paperwork she filled out, changing hers and her children's names back to her family name, that was her right. Mark is no longer around, and she has every right to change her last name, as well as her kids' last names, back to her parents' name.
There are a lot of problems with all of this. Tons of them. The plan was for Amy to marry me next, but instead, she went and took all that money and her kids and ran away. Has there ever been as bad of a backstabbing as this in the history of man?
That plan you're talking about was something only you and your parents talked about, right? I'm sure that Amy didn't want anything to do with it, especially since her husband had just died and her brother-in-law was already talking about how he would marry her next. She knew just as well as myself that you only wanted to be with her for that money Mark would leave behind.
Don't tell me that she hated the plan. Why would she have any reason to? She knows that by marrying me, everyone can be happy. I'll be able to take care of that money for her, and her kids will be in my parents' hands. And the fact that she'd be able to move back into my parents' house with me after the marriage would be a massive help, right?
That's only a massive help for the three of you. Amy doesn't need any of your guys' help. That money she's received will go right into her bank account and can never be touched by anyone but her. And she was always the one in charge of the money in that house anyway, so she knows what she's doing. She doesn't need some stranger coming into her life telling her what to do with it. And as for her kids, she can go back to her parents' house and have the both of them help support her. She would be much better off with her own two parents instead of your mother, as they wouldn't cause her loads of stress. That woman can live an amazing life without having to marry a man like you.
No, that's not the only problem, though. Amy is in love with me. Back when we last met with one another at one of my family gatherings, she touched my arm a little. She looked so happy about it and laughed.
Are you kidding me, Matthew? There is no way her laughing like that meant she loves you. Do you have any idea about how much she hates your guts? She already hated you plenty before you started to go up and try to touch her, so when you finally did graze your arm across her like that, she was probably in shock. I bet she was laughing about it because she didn't know how to respond to that level of disgust. And the only other reason for it was probably because you're her brother-in-law and she couldn't say anything about it. That would have only caused more problems for her, so it was better to just play it all off by faking a laugh or two. Did you ever even notice that once you started to get way too close and personal to Amy, Mark or I would step in between you and her?
What? You guys were both doing that because you guys were jealous, right? Amy is younger and more beautiful than you after all.
Shut the hell up, you idiot. Why would I be jealous of something like that? I was getting in the way because I felt bad that she had to be that close to an old geezer whose breath smelled as bad as a dead skunk. I was there for her protection only. Amy was telling me a few months ago that she never really liked you that much. But I know deep down she frickin' hates you with every nerve she has. That's why when she heard about you wanting to marry her, she bolted. She's not going to marry some old man that doesn't care about her feelings, so just give it up, Matthew.
I can't just give it up, though. I already bought a brand new car, thinking that once I married Amy, I would be able to get my hands on Mark's money.
Huh? A brand new car?
It was a car that I had been wanting for a long time now. A high-end sports car. I bought that thing thinking I'd be getting Mark's money, and that car will be coming to the house soon, and I'll have to start paying for it. If I can't marry Amy soon, then I'm going to be in huge trouble.
Jesus Christ, you really are such a mess. I was already livid thinking about the fact that you divorced me, wanting to marry your little brother's wife right after he died. But then you went ahead and bought a brand new car, thinking that you'd be able to get your hands on your brother's money too? What the actual hell, Matthew? And a high-end sports car of all things? That's not the kind of car a man that was just saying he'd marry her to help support her and her kids would be buying. Well, thank God that in the end she got away from you before you could actually inflict any damage.
But that car is my dream car. I have dreamed and dreamed and dreamed about being the owner of a car like that. I had to give up on it though, because with my income, I was never going to be able to get one. But then the chance came where I'd be able to get that kind of money. Of course I'd buy the car right off the bat, thinking that his money was mine.
Unbelievable. What kind of shameless thing are you again? Don't start telling me you're a man, because you sure as hell aren't. If by a 1 in a million chance, if by a 1 in a billion chance you were able to marry Amy, there is no way she'd just let you use all that money from Mark on yourself. That money is meant to help her care for herself and her kids' futures.
But if we got married, then it would become both the husband and wife's money, right?
Would you shut the hell up, dude? You are talking so much crap right now that I wouldn't be surprised if you always took craps out of your mouth. Amy will never, ever marry a thing like you, and Mark's money is never going to be yours. That's the reality, you dumbass. Understood?
Huh? Then what am I gonna do about this car? I already had to give you half of my savings in the divorce, so I barely have anything left. I don't even have the money right now to get a loan or anything to help pay it off.
You were the idiot that went and bought the thing, so pay for it, all right? The only other option is to try canceling that purchase before the car arrives. Honestly, I don't care what has to happen because we are divorced now and you are a nobody to me.
Don't say something like that, Bailey. Hey, alright, I'll give up on trying to chase Amy. But that means I want you back. We don't even have to have any kids. Please come back and marry me one more time.
Excuse me? You think that after all the crap you've said, after all the crap you've done, and after all those things you've made very obvious about your toxic behavior, that I'd ever want to go back to you? You just said you understood, but I think you've only gone farther away from understanding anything. No frickin' thanks. I don't think anyone should have to marry something like you, Matthew.
Why would you say something like that? I'm in huge trouble right now. Please help me. I was stupid for wanting a divorce from you. I admit that. Please, Bailey, come back to me.
You don't have to admit something that's very obvious. The fact that you don't even feel any form of shame for all of this is what makes you a monster. Thank God that divorce happened when it did. You have nothing to do with me anymore, so never talk to me again. Bye forever, asshole. After I finished talking to him, Matthew must have been super desperate because he continued to try and find Amy to get that money Mark left behind. At the same time as all of that, though, he was still sending me texts asking me to go back to him. I was trying my best to just ignore all the notifications that kept going off, but at one point, I just lost it. So in the end, I blocked his number, and ever since then, the only person I communicate with is Amy. I later learned that during that whole chase after Amy, Matthew never tried to cancel the purchase. And by the time he did realize it was hopeless and went to cancel the purchase, it was too late and the car was already there. He didn't even have the money to make the second payment on the car, so before he could even try riding it around, he had to return it. But even with the return, he still had a decent amount of money to pay for the shipping and construction of the car, so he was still in debt. As for Matthew's mom, she not only lost Amy, but both of the grandkids she had too. And on top of that, her husband started to realize that he wasn't as screwed up as his wife and son, and this led to him leaving the house. She was so shocked by all that had happened that she started to hide away in her house, which has led to her going a little crazy due to all the stress and lack of contact with anyone. I guess this is how things will end for two of the most disgusting people this planet has ever witnessed. After the divorce, I ended up moving closer to my place of work, and while I work and treat myself to the life of being happily single, I go over to see Amy and her kids while helping her around the house a little. At first, things looked a bit tough for Amy and the kids, as it really started to sink in that Mark was gone, and the rest of his family too. But after some time with me and her family, her and her kids made it past that sadness, and are living life like champions that survived the monsters in their arena. I'm sure that Mark, looking down from heaven at Amy and his kids, feels a whole lot better now as well. Case? It's been around 15 minutes now since you told me you'd be going to the bathroom. Are you all right? The bus will be here in another 5 minutes or so. If you're not feeling all too well right now, we can cancel this honeymoon and go another time.
I'm out of the bathroom right now. I'll be back to you in just a second.
Case? Hey, the moment I got onto the bus, you told me you had to go back to the bathroom again. Are you sure you're all right? The toilet on this bus is pretty small, so I'm sure it's not comfortable for you in there, right? Did you eat something bad yesterday, or that's got you feeling so poorly? Do you want to go and see a doctor about it?
I'm alright, okay? It's not all that bad, actually. I should be out of here and coming back to my seat here soon, so don't worry.
Are you sure? If it's getting really bad for you, we can go to a local clinic and have them see if you need any medication.
Alright. Sorry for getting you all worked up over me.
I'm sorry for constantly checking up on you.
What?
That toilet you were just in was the one on the left side of the bus, right?
What? Why do you ask?
The person in front of me is saying that there were some strange noises coming from that toilet when they walked back there. As though there was a guy and a girl in there.
What? What are they talking about? And that's not for me. I was going to go into that toilet, but it was locked, and so I went to the toilet on the right side of the bus instead. I know for a fact that I'm not in that toilet right now. So you don't have to be worried about those noises coming from me.
I see. Well, as long as everything's all right back there.
Wow, I can't believe that the toilet on the left side of the bus has noises like that coming from it right now. I'm surprised I can't hear anything right now. I'm coming back to my seat right now, by the way.
All right. Aunt May, do you have a second to talk with me? What? Is that you, Sarah? What's going on? We are supposed to be meeting in the hotel's lobby tonight, right? Is it really all right for you to be texting me now when we can meet later today? You are on your honeymoon right now, so I think it's best you enjoy this time with your husband. Well, about my husband. He isn't feeling all too well right now. What? Oh, no way. He's told me that he has some medicine he can take to help ease some of his stomach pain and that he'll just sleep for the rest of the day in the hotel room. But all of that is a lie. What do you mean? He was already telling me about how it would be better to just send him home and enjoy this trip by myself, considering it's a waste of money being at this hotel with him being in such a bad state. But then why did he come all the way out here in the first place when he was feeling bad before we left? And why is he sending me out of the hotel room when I can just relax in there with him while he sleeps? Well, I know why. Just 10 minutes ago, I saw him walking my little sister into the room. And as I walked up to listen through the door, I could hear the both of them moaning. What? You're talking about June then, right? I always heard stories about how much she's loved to sleep around, but I never thought she'd get to your own husband like that. And during your honeymoon of all times. That's what I'm saying. The only reason I was able to see him walking my sister in there in the first place is because I forgot my sun hat, and so I came back to grab it. Perhaps that could be considered a stroke of luck, having my timing match theirs. Or maybe it's bad luck. I opened the door just a little to make sure the person I really saw was June, and they were too busy getting it on in the bed to notice me peering through the crack in the door. This is too crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it more, I think that June snuck onto that bus with Case and I as well. The whole way out here, things were so strange, and I was starting to really think Case was up to something. I don't even want to know what was going on in the bus. Are you going to be all right, Sarah? Well, let's just see what I can do about this. I have some time on my hands right now, so how about we meet up early and talk about what to do next? Are you all right with that? You wouldn't want to be all alone after witnessing something as insane as that, right? I'm sure there are plenty of things I can help with as well. So please, let me come see you and we can talk all this through in more detail and make a plan. Thank you, Aunt May. Where are you right now? I'm just walking back and forth outside the hotel, trying to keep my mind off what I just saw. Then I'm going to start heading back there right now. Can you meet me over by the tennis courts on the east side of the resort? It'll take me around 30 minutes to get back there, so you can take your time walking to that area. Is that all right? Yeah. While you're on your way back, I'll get some things taken care of that need to be dealt with. What things are you talking about? I just want to talk with some other people that need to know what I've seen is all. Ah, I see. I'll see you in a little over 30 minutes then. See you soon. Case, how's your stomach feeling right now?
Right. It is still causing me a little trouble and churning quite a bit, but I think I'm past the point where it was going to hurt the most. I'm sure the medicine is helping break things up in there a lot, as I haven't had to go to the bathroom as much anymore.
I see.
What have you been up to? Around this time, we were supposed to be going to the gardens or something like that, right?
I'm out with Aunt May and doing a couple of things.
Ah, she came along on this trip as well, right? I forgot that they had been wanting to come to a place like this as well, and made the choice to come during our honeymoon. Well, I'm glad you have had someone to spend the day with.
That's right.
By the way, we were supposed to be meeting with her tonight in the hotel lobby, right? Why don't the two of you just go out to eat dinner without coming back here for me?
What are you going to do then, Case?
I'll order something small with room service. I'm honestly not too hungry right now. So maybe just a small bowl of ice cream, and then I'm going back to sleep. I feel as though another good round of sleep will fix the stomach ache up for me. So if you just go out and have dinner with Aunt May, then that would give me the rest of the evening to relax.
I see. Then once I've had dinner with Aunt May, I'm heading all the way back home by myself.
What?
Well, if you're going to keep it up with that behavior, there's no real need to call all of this our honeymoon, right? I don't really want to be going around by myself seeing all the sights when it was supposed to be about you and I. So I'll head back to the house and relax by myself there.
Wait, I'm sure that by tomorrow I'll be feeling a whole lot better again.
Nope, I'm going home. There's no point in calling this a honeymoon trip anymore, now is there?
Huh? What are you trying to get at there, Sarah?
I'm going to go back out with Aunt May, have some dinner with her, and then head home.
Hey, listen to me! You're just going to head home by yourself and abandon your new husband out here when he's feeling sick? That's pretty messed up of you to just leave your sick husband here in a place he knows nothing about. To go home by yourself.
I'm sure it's not me who's the messed up one here.
What the heck is all of this about? You're a freaking jerk for canceling this honeymoon without asking me first, and then leaving me here when I have a stomachache. Hey!
Oh, it's you again, Case?
Don't tell me that you're actually heading home soon.
Well, I am. There were some seats left on the last bus leaving here today, so that's what I'll be riding on.
Huh?
I'm on my way to the bus terminal right now. With Aunt May, of course.
Huh?
You go ahead and do whatever you please there at the resort.
What are you talking about? This is supposed to be yours and my honeymoon. Why would you leave right in the middle of it when I'm just getting back to my normal self and want to have fun with you? Why are you just leaving me here without a care in the world?
Do I really have to give you the reason for why this is?
You want to go home because I became a little sick for a day or two, and it was no fun for you, right? I'm sorry that I ended up getting this sick, but you were the one that left me in this room all day long by myself with no company at all. You're screwed up, Sarah.
Ugh. So that's the reason you think I'm leaving you to go back to the house?
What other reason would there frickin' be right now?
How about the reason of you and my little sister getting it on in the hotel room today?
What?
Back when we were on our way out here on the bus, there were some things going on that made me a little concerned.
Sarah?
Back when the guy sitting in front of me on the bus said something about strange noises coming out of the toilet on the left side of the bus. That was you and June, right?
And
don't tell me the same thing was going on with you two in the bathroom before you and I got on the bus.
Why would you bring something like that up? Did June say anything to you yesterday or today?
Listen, Case, I know what's happened, so give it up trying to convince me otherwise.
What?
This morning, after you told me to leave the room and go do some things by myself, I forgot my hat and went back up to the room to go and get it.
What?
You both didn't seem to notice anything at the time because you were too busy humping each other. But that's when I saw with my own eyes that you were doing my little sister. I was looking through a crack in the door I made by opening it ever so slightly. She was riding on top of you for a bit before you both rolled over and kept going at it under the covers.
You're lying.
Oh, I sat there listening and watching for close to 10 minutes because I couldn't believe my eyes and had to keep checking again to make sure what I was looking at was actually real. I'm sure that June is staying at the same resort right now. If she wasn't, then there would have been no way of her getting into the resort and up to our room that quickly, right?
No, wait,
In other words, since the beginning, you and her have been planning on going to the same resort at the same time during our honeymoon so that you both could play around. Right?
Well,
I'm going to find out all the finer details in this from here on. And it would help me out a lot if you would just confess to what you've done here. And to make that happen, there will be a lot of people showing up to your room really soon.
a lot of people showing up to this room? Here?
I don't want to see you in person for a little while now, so I'll leave it up to all of them to get the information I need.
What are you going on about? What? Hey, Sarah, why are both my parents and your parents here right now? Why were they all allowed to come into this resort? We are way too far away from home for all of them to have made it out here this quickly.
Wait, did you totally forget or something? To join in on some of the fun we were going to have, our parents all got together and planned a trip out for themselves to come to this area as well.
What?
They wanted to have some good family bonding time as well, since you and I just married, so they booked rooms at a resort just down the road. But when they heard the news from me about what I'd seen, they all got into their rental van and started to make their way over to the resort you're at.
What? Huh?
They were also able to make a last-minute change to stay at that resort tonight. Since both the resorts on the street are owned by the same company and are able to do things like that for their guests.
What?
It also helps that Aunt May has a friend working for that resort. She had a word with that friend of hers and told them everything they needed to know. So that friend went ahead and made sure to give our parents the large suite room in order for you all to sit down and have a nice long meeting.
Wait.
So now that you're aware of that, tonight will be a blast for you. Both you and June will be able to have a seat in that room with all four of them and take it up your butts.
Are you freaking kidding me, Sarah? Sarah, I made sure to get that settlement into your bank account. The divorce paperwork has all been handed into the courthouse as well.
Is that right? Thank you so much for letting me know.
Well, now that I've thought about it, this divorce is perfect for me.
Why is that?
Well, now I'll be able to marry your little sister instead. Tomorrow, I'm going to go and propose to her, and then from there, her and I can run over to the courthouse again and get married.
So you're going right back for more then?
I may have lost my parents because of what happened, but as long as I have a young and cute-looking wife like June in my life, I'll be just fine. I'll be perfect, actually.
That might not be happening though, Case.
Why do you say that?
Because June is already married.
Huh?
From what I've heard, she already gave birth to the son of a truly top-notch CEO who's making over $1.5 million a year. So, after giving birth to his son, they both tied the knot and are now considered husband and wife.
What did you just say? She got married to another man? Even though I went and paid for both the settlement you asked for me and the settlement you asked from her? She just left me now?
Did you really think you were the only man she was getting love from? I'm not sure what made you think that about her, but for the longest time now, she's been a real whore.
What?
Ever since high school, I think, she's been sleeping around with pretty much any man she could land. There were times she'd call them her boyfriends or something, but that would mean at some points she had 3 boyfriends at a time.
What the actual heck?
I'm sure that since she just got married, she's gone and ended all those other relationships she was having.
I never heard anything about this stuff, though.
I think she was waiting until after you paid both of your settlements to me before she would say anything.
That frickin' whore.
Well, along with myself, my parents have also gone and cut ties to my little sister. So now you both mean nothing to us. Good luck trying to figure out the situation you've gotten yourself into now, Case. Goodbye. After that, Case went and found the company of June's husband and ran in there making a huge scene. This led to June's husband finding out about all the men June had been with before, and so he had a DNA test done on his baby that she recently had. It turned out that the baby was Case's. This led to June then being divorced by her husband and him getting a settlement from her, and Case was also given a bill for all the things in that man's office building that he went and broke in his rage. However, even after all of that, Case still wanted to be with June, and so those two handed in their marriage form. As of right now, those two are working hard to make up all the money they need to pay off all their debt. But while that's happening, June is still finding ways to go back out with other men. Case is very much aware of what she's doing, but for some reason he doesn't want a divorce and just ignores all of it. Even more recently, things between those two have become so divided that they sleep on opposite sides of the house from one another. Because of this, it seems like the place is a very bad environment for their baby, and so my parents and I have talked about taking it away from them. Time will only tell what happens next, but I just hope nothing happens to harm that whore's baby.
I cannot damn well believe you. What's the deal with that beat-up piece of crap house? I can't believe you fooled me like this.
Right, Wendy, how did I fool you? Look, I'm so confused. What the hell's gotten into you? Flipping out and storming back home like that all of a sudden? And that's not all. You think just because the yard of the abandoned house next door is full of empty buckets gives you any damn right to pour the rainwater in them all over me? I stink because of you. There was mud and all kinds of nasty stuff in there. And there's such a thing as a line, and you crossed it. And what's beat up piece of crap house supposed to mean?
I'll call a spade, and a beat-up piece of crap house a beat-up piece of crap house. That fancy watch your mom bought you to celebrate you getting a job, that exotic tie pin your grandpa got you, those old Victorian fountain pen collections your dad keeps. Granted, they're not the typical luxuries you associate with wealth, but when I stopped to think about it, I realized they must have actually been pretty expensive. You don't see stuff like that every day, right? So I concluded your family must be rich. But then when we actually drive over to meet them, far from my expectations of a magnificent, stately home, I find nothing but a beat-up piece of crap house that looks ready to fall apart any second.
What the hell is with you? Wait a sec. Let me get this straight, Wendy. Does this mean the only reason you dated me for 2 years was because you thought I was the son of a rich family?
What's wrong with that? Is there something wrong with wanting your husband to make enough money to provide you with a stable life? Go on, I'm waiting. A man's value is determined by the size of his wallet, and it's a woman's right to have expectations. That's one thing I'll never budge on, and I ain't ashamed to say it.
I'm not going to try and invalidate your views, because there are as many different ways of thinking as there are people in the world. But I have to draw the line at pretending you want to meet my parents as a pretext to scope out how much money they have. I only brought you along because I thought you were excited to meet them. What's worse, you barely even looked at the place for 5 minutes before deciding it wasn't up to whatever your standards is for what my parents' house is supposed to look like.
Oh, believe me, Mark, I took a very good look. That's why I got pissed and went home. Scammer. Brokey.
I don't understand you at all.
No, I'm the one who doesn't understand you poverty-stricken broke loser. Me and you are so done. I'm breaking up with you. If you want to be in with a shot at putting a ring on this finger, I suggest you get a better job and start making more money. Oopsie, my bad. That's not going to be possible, is it? Who am I trying to fool? There's no way a broke loser raised in a piece of crap house like that could ever afford to have a beauty like me on his arm.
I don't think of myself as poor at all, actually. Real wealth is on the inside, and I had a great upbringing full of love. You won't get any objections from me on the breakup.
Real wealth is on the inside? Oh my god, what kind of fairy tales did those broke-ass parents of yours raise you on? Cringe. Wait, what? You don't care that I'm breaking up with you?
Not in the least. It seems like you've been making all kinds of crazy misunderstandings about me, but one thing is for sure, our views on the world are totally different. Turn into a freaking fire-breathing dragon as soon as you see something you don't like. And what's more, to top it off, you pour a bucket of water over my head. How could I possibly spend the rest of my life with someone like you?
You're right. All right, well, that's that then. I want the 2 years I just wasted with you back. I have never been so wrong about someone in my life. See ya, you sad, pitiful, tragic, broke loser. Hey, Mark. Has it already been 5 years? I have the weirdest feeling that time's passing both super fast and really slowly at the same time. I guess 5 years should have been sufficient for you to get your act together enough that you're finally worthy of putting a ring on my finger. That's great, babe. I'm so excited to hear about how hard you've been working. Well, where are you living these days? I'm getting my stuff together right now, so make sure you let me know before I move in tomorrow, okay? Mark? Like, hello? You gonna reply sometime? Tell me where you live already. You're not gonna leave your favorite person in the whole wide world hanging like this, are ya? After I so kindly went out of my way to message you after all this time? You do realize that normally in this situation, it's you who should be sending out the first olive branch? Hello? Ugh, tell me your new address already. Hello? Why won't you reply to me? Ugh! I know you can see my messages because they all have the little tick mark on them. It's time to man up, Marky Mark. Hurry and tell me your address before I die of old age. By the way, I decided to go check out that beat-up piece of crap old house to see if you or your folks were still around. I was hoping maybe you were super rich now and it had been knocked down and had a big lavish mansion built in its place. You know, across the whole area where those abandoned houses used to be. But sheesh, I was so disappointed when I realized it was just some regular detached house. Plus, I could see some young family through the window of what used to be your mom and dad's place. So, putting 2 and 2 together, I guess you all moved away? Hurry up and tell me your new address now! Now! Ugh! Why won't you answer my messages? You do want to get back with me, don't you? Address! Now! Fast!
God damn it, what the hell do you want?
Aha! Mark, you're alive. Finally replied, my sweet darling. So, where do you live? I'm ready to move into your mansion and become part of the upper class. It's finally my turn to join the ranks of society's chosen few.
I've no idea what you're talking about. You do know we broke up, don't you?
Sure, maybe we did break up, but you want to get back with me, right?
And what could possibly make you think that?
Haven't you heard about all the rumors from our old classmates?
Rumours?
I saw the article online. Mark, interview with the young hotshot CEO set to take America by storm. How amazing are you? I was so shocked. I can't believe you're doing front page interviews with major media companies now. You really have moved up in the world, huh, baby? It's all they're talking about in our old college group chat right now.
Sure, I know about the article. What does it have to do with you?
Everything. In fact, I can only think it was fate that one of the guys found it and posted it in the chat.
No, it most definitely has nothing to do with you. My life is none of your business.
Stop playing hard to get, silly. The reason you worked so hard to get rich after we broke up is because you want to marry me, right?
Excuse me?
I told you before, right? That if you wanted to be in with a shot at putting a ring on this finger, then you should get a better job and make more money. And you actually did it. I am so proud of you, baby. I can't believe someone raised in a beat-up piece of crap house like that made it all the way to the top of a major company. And all to win my heart? Oh God, Mark, I think I'm gonna melt. Well, you did it. You made the grade. Congratulations, baby. All right, let's get married. So, where do you live?
But you're already married.
Huh?
I was a little confused when I saw those nonsensical messages you spammed me with before. It was all too sudden and suspicious for me, so I did some digging. And when I did, I discovered that you married some corporate boss in his 50s straight after we broke up, but that he eventually divorced you for spending his money like it grew on trees. Guy number 2 was young CEO of venture startup, but he divorced you when he found out you were cheating on him after the kid came out half black. As for your third and current husband, he found out not only were you cheating on him, but also that you were hiding the fact you were a 2-time divorcee with kids by forcing your relatives to look after them. Needless to say, this one's going to end in divorce too.
No way.
Obviously, sucker number 3 is demanding compensation for your betrayal, but since your family already disowned you and you have no one else to rely on to dig you out of the hole you got yourself into, you're totally screwed. And this all just happened to coincide with my interview hitting the news.
Yep, it's just like you say. It's true, I do have kids, and I am set to be hit with my 3rd divorce. But if you love me so much that you worked hard enough over these last 5 years to be getting front-page interviews with major magazines just to be in with a shot at winning me back, then surely none of that matters, right?
You're categorically wrong at the fundamental level, so allow me to correct your insane assumptions one by one.
Correct me? About what?
First of all this stuff about my mum and dad's house being a beat-up piece of crap. I see you went snooping around the neighbourhood and were upset to find a regular old detached house where my mum and dad used to live. And you were right, none of us live there anymore. We sold both the house and the land it was built on.
Huh?
However, since my dad still owns the abandoned house next door, I still park my car there when I head down to see everyone. My mum and dad actually live on the next block now.
Wait a sec. It's not that big stately mansion with the classical portico and Ferrari in the drive, is it?
Bingo. My dad sold the old house just after my granddad passed away 2 years ago. When we were getting on top of everything with the inheritance arrangement, me and my parents had separate houses built, so now we live apart.
Wow, really? It sounds like you guys came into some money, huh? Hurry up and give me your new address. My divorce with this husband is pretty much guaranteed at this point, so I can move in with you right away. How does tomorrow sound?
Like my worst nightmare. As for the next correction, my efforts at work had absolutely nothing to do with you.
Huh?
It was for my parents who always supported me in what I wanted to do. And my fiancé, who I've been dating for 3 years, we got engaged last year.
Huh? What the hell? You mean you've been seeing another woman?
We broke up 5 years ago, Wendy. What the hell does it have to do with you if I've been seeing another woman or not?
It has everything to do with me. I'll do everything in my power to make sure this wedding is not allowed to go through. Mark my words.
If you've got enough time and energy to do pointless crap like that, wouldn't it make more sense to get a job and lay the financial groundwork for your post-divorce life?
It's not pointless. I just know that if you meet up with me, the flame of our passion will be ignited and you'll be madly in love with me all over again.
You're nuts.
Ugh, just give me some more time. Soon everything will fall into place. Mark, what's going on here? Are you telling me this isn't your wedding?
Huh? Wedding? What are you talking about?
I saw on your Insta page about a wedding today.
I don't have an Insta page.
Huh?
My friends try and get me to use it all the time, but as far as I can tell, it's a waste of time and a productivity killer. My responsibilities as CEO are much more important than using some app. I can't afford to be careless with my time management with the company being set to make its next big break. And I don't see why I'd run the risk of one of our competitors picking up on my posts, or worse, ending up with an internet pitchfork mob after me over something stupid.
Whose Insta was I looking at then?
I don't know. Someone with the same name as me?
Huh?
I don't know then.
No way. Is it really not you? You're not just playing hard to get like you always used to.
Does the account have my face on it?
Well, no.
It's actually impressive you were so convinced it was me that you were wrong.
begging you, please. I just went to the wrong couple's wedding.
Excuse me? You did what now?
I was sure this Insta making all these wedding posts belonged to you, and they kept making posts with detailed info on the date and venue. I figured that was your romantic way of inviting me. But when I barged into the chapel in my wedding dress, I didn't recognize anybody. There was just some random couple standing at the altar, and everyone was staring at me. Ugh, it was horrible. They said I ruined their wedding, and now they're claiming I owe them money? How crazy is that? They say if I don't pay them compensation and cover the costs of the wedding, they'll take me to court.
Are you a complete moron? Actually, don't answer that. What makes you think I'd help you? You're the one who ruined your own life by barging into a stranger's wedding, based on some nonsensical, deluded assumption. None of this crap has anything to do with me.
Oh my god. You'd throw your fiancé away like this?
Really? You still saying that? My fiancé is a different woman. And to be more precise, we're actually already married.
Wait, what?
We got married at the end of last month. She's not my fiancé, she's my wife.
Last month? But you didn't tell me about it.
Did I need to?
Oh my god.
Oh, give me a break already, Wendy. I'm so sick and tired of your crap, it's hard to put into words. This conversation is over. Bye.
No, wait. Fine, if you're not gonna marry me, at least do something about all this money they're saying I owe them. Mark, please.
Where do I even start? I thought I'd finally seen the back of that lunatic after she insulted my family and broke up with me. But then she appeared out of nowhere, asking me to take her back. Ultimately, her false hopes turned out to be based on the mother of all misunderstandings that came about after she jumped to the wrong conclusion in desperation to get herself out of the mess she had made. Apparently, the couple whose wedding she ruined charged her $50,000 in compensation, which she ended up having to go into debt to pay off. Last I heard, she had no choice but to give her kids up for adoption, and now she's working day and night just to keep the lights on in her shabby, worn-out apartment. I told my wife about what went down with my psycho ex, and she put it nice and succinctly. So she bungee jumped into a life of debt-filled misery to satisfy her unquenchable thirst for rich men. Sad. Hearing it put so simply actually kind of blew my mind. I guess in her own weird way, all Wendy wanted was to be happy. But where did it get her? It got me thinking about what happiness really is. One thing's for sure, the whole thing's been a pretty thought-provoking experience. I like to think that we can learn from everyone, and if Wendy taught me anything, it's that instead of relying on my parents' wealth, I should always work hard to live on the fruits of my own efforts.
Why, hello there, Vicky. Have you given any consideration to my offer of moving in with you at all? I might be in good health now, but it's been 3 years since my husband passed away, and I think it's time you started giving my future some serious thought.
Good evening, Tina. Regarding your offer of moving in with us, to be honest with you, we have enough on our plate right now without having an extra person living with us. I just don't think it's feasible for us, at least for the time being. I know you're my mother-in-law, and I'd love to help you out, but I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
James told me you quit your part-time job recently. If you're going to live with us, we did make it pretty clear you'd at least have to be working part-time. You remember we discussed this before, right?
Why should I have to work to be allowed to live with my son and his wife? And really, this is rich. You don't have a job and are living entirely on James' dime yourself. So surely you're not in a position to be telling me to look for a job.
Huh? What? I can assure you, I most definitely do have a job.
Fine. So you have some crummy little part-time job at a convenience store. Wow. Amazing. Do you want a medal?
Where are you getting your info from? I work full-time and not at a convenience store.
Anyway, the only reason I quit my job in the first place was so I could live with you two.
Huh? What?
Keeping my job would have been difficult after I moved in with you. The commute from your house would have taken me a whole hour on the train, which left me with no choice but to quit.
Couldn't you have them transfer you to another branch or something? I'm sure quitting wasn't the only option.
Stop answering me back and let me move in with you. We already decided on this, you insolent little upstart. I get that having 3 of us cooped up in your little apartment would probably be difficult, which is why you need to move into a fully detached house immediately. Either that, or find a bigger apartment. The bottom line is, it's time for you and my son to move somewhere bigger to accommodate me.
What the hell? Quit making our decisions for us. You have no right to do this.
In terms of space, at the very least, we'll be needing a big, roomy living area, a nice, spacious kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, I'll need my own private one, and a garden for me to relax in.
Whoa. Slow down. We never even agreed to have you live with us in the first place. You do know that, right?
I will not be answered back to, Missy. I suggest you get house hunting this instant if you know what's good for you. Don't worry, I'll be thoroughly hashing this out with my son. He's a good boy, so he's sure to have my side. Excellent, that settles it. Start packing your things together in preparation for the move, dear.
You don't get to decide this. Tina, was it you? Did you forge my letter of resignation and send it to my boss?
Ah, I see it already arrived.
You have got to be freaking kidding me. God damn it, I knew it was you. What do you think you're playing at? Why the hell would you do such a thing?
Simple. Now you have no choice but to live with me.
Don't be ridiculous. That resignation letter was obviously never going to be considered valid.
Excuse me? Why not?
Wow, you're actually surprised? Did you actually think my company was going to take a resignation letter that obviously wasn't written by me? Seriously? Besides, do you have any idea what would happen to us if I quit my job?
Nothing worth worrying about, I'm sure. You could just find another job after the move. It might be difficult to find something full-time, but I'm sure there are any number of part-time jobs where they'd welcome you with open arms.
You make it sound like such a walk in the park. Do you really think we have enough savings to support ourselves through something like that? Our financial situation isn't as peachy as you seem to think it is.
Huh?
I've already said this to James countless times, but you seem to have zero concept of the financial difficulties people are facing these days, and you clearly have no interest in finding work yourself. I want you to start thinking more seriously about the future and find a job of your own. If you're serious about wanting to move in with us, then that needs to happen first.
Vicky, oh my goodness. Are you really that wasteful with your spending?
What?
You should be able to get by comfortably just on James' salary alone. The fact that you're still struggling even though you work a full-time job yourself, on top of James' sizable pay packet, can only mean one thing. You're blowing all the money on frivolous crap.
Wait, what? What makes you think we could get by on James's salary alone? Do you actually know how much he makes?
Of course I do. He told me himself.
And you think the 3 of us could get by on that with me quitting my job and you not working at all? Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. But it would appear that you'd have to rein in your excessive spending habit first.
Excessive? I'm the least excessive spender there is. If anything, I've done nothing but restrict my spending for as long as I can remember.
It's hard to believe you'd need to restrict your spending considering how much money my son makes. That alone tells me all I need to know.
Tina, listen to me. I don't feel like we're on the same page here. Do you really know how much money James makes?
Yes, like I just said, he told me himself.
Are you sure your financial sense isn't a bit off?
I should be asking you that.
I think my financial sense is just as solid as it gets, actually. I spend a lot of time budgeting and thinking about this stuff, you know.
Good grief, young lady. You're impossible. You're so devoid of anything resembling common sense. I may as well be talking to a plant pot. I'll be discussing this with James in person.
Now that you mention it, he's been at your house a lot recently, hasn't he?
Why, yes, he has. I've been letting him stay here.
He hasn't been replying to my messages at all. Do you have any idea why that might be?
Because I'm not letting him, obviously. Think about it. You've done nothing but pile doubt and negativity in our discussions about me moving in with the 2 of you. So I decided it was best not to let you keep sticking your nose in as we move things forward.
Jeez, Tina, are you kidding me? How many times do I have to tell you? Stop making decisions that aren't yours to make. James is my husband, and we need to discuss these kinds of things as a couple.
If I was to respect your opinion, we'd never get anywhere. I'll be in touch again when me and James have ironed out the finer details of the moving in arrangement.
Oh, no, you won't.
And mark my words, Missy, when I finally move in with you, I'll be giving you an arduous course of strict wife training to instill in you the womanly discipline you sorely lack in. Prepare yourself, because the gravy train's about to reach its final stop.
Hey, sis, it's been a while. Is now a good time?
Oh, hey, Gavin. You're right, it's been ages. What's up?
Well, as you know, I've been on work transfer in New York for a while now, but I thought I'd head back to town for a little surprise homecoming to see you again since it's been so long. Anyway, I tried getting into my house while I was in town.
Oh, you did?
Vicky, this might sound like a weird question. Did someone steal my house?
Excuse me? What kind of question is that?
I stopped by the house so I could check on and do some routine maintenance, stuff like clearing the weeds from the garden, cleaning the inside, and checking if any repairs needed doing. But when I got there, it kind of looked like someone else was living there.
What? We have to call the cops.
Right? That was my first thought too, but when I asked around some of the folk in town, they told me that the woman living there knocked on all the doors last week and introduced herself as the new neighbor. Apparently she's called Tina, and she claims to be the mother of a certain James? James is your husband, right?
What the?
I did think it was a little crazy, but I thought I should let you know what was going on before I called the cops, since you have one of the keys to the house. You have any idea what's going on here?
God damn it. Give me a minute, okay? I need to check something. I'm sorry, Gavin. I let my guard down.
What happened?
The house key I left in the safe. It's gone. Me and James are the only people who know the code to that safe, so the only explanation I can think of is that he took it and let himself and his mom in.
But why would he do something like that without telling you?
Listen, you don't know about any of this, but his mom has been obsessed with the idea of moving in with us lately. She's like a woman possessed. When I told her she had to get a job so she could contribute to the household finances if she wanted to live with us, she quit the part-time job she'd had for years and insisted that when she moved in, there'd be no need for her to work anymore.
What? But you're working full-time yourself now, right? It's been a while, but I remember when we last spoke, you guys were living from paycheck to paycheck and struggling to keep on top of the utilities and grocery bills, and your unemployed mother-in-law thinks she can just waltz into that situation, start living with you, without contributing anything.
I did try and explain that to her, but we constantly had our wires crossed because she didn't seem to understand the fundamental logic behind what I was saying. And James, despite being the only person who had the ability to put all this nonsense to bed in a heartbeat, has been staying exclusively at his mom's place and not responding to any of my messages lately. So here I am, stuck banging my head against a brick wall, trying to get through to his stubborn mother while not making a single inch of process in the whole thing.
Huh. I see. So, basically, your mom-in-law, for some inexplicable reason, became obsessed with the idea of living in my house. I completely ignored everything you said to her about why that wasn't going to be possible, and then used covert measures to catch you off guard and move in without your permission. Pretty convenient for her that I, the actual owner of the house, have been out of town for 3 years on a company transfer from the other side of the country, huh? Your husband does know it's mine, right? Which means I can only conclude they intentionally use my absence to their advantage.
Yep. Bingo. I'm pretty sure everything you just said hit the nail on the head. Or at the very least, James does know the house belongs to you. Whether he told his mom that or not remains to be seen. But the bottom line is, it does sound like they're both living there now. I'm so sorry, Gavin. I let you down. I had no idea my unhinged mother-in-law would set her sights on your house like this.
It's not your fault, Vic. Don't sweat it. But what do you think I should do about it?
Where are you right now?
At my buddy's place. He's happy to let me stay here until we get whatever this crap is resolved. So don't worry about me.
Got it. I'll try messaging Tina again. Depending on how she responds, we may be forced to take extreme measures. Tina, I heard you already moved house. Where did you end up going exactly?
Oh, Vicky, good timing. I was just about to message you.
Is it fair to assume James is living with you at your new place?
Yes, you're far too lacking in common sense, and we're being far too stubborn for there to be any use in talking to you. So I decided to teach you a little lesson before we all moved in together.
Oh, that's funny. I don't seem to remember anything that would warrant me needing to be taught any lessons.
Gah, here we go again. quit playing dumb. If you insist on persisting with this selfish insolence, me and my son will be forced to consider divorce. I suggest you tread very carefully if you value your marriage to James, young lady.
I don't remember doing anything that would warrant being divorced.
Stop answering me back. Gah, you think you're so clever, don't you? If not for my son, you wouldn't even have a roof over your head, food on the table, or clothes on your back. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, missy, or it'll be the last thing you ever do.
Ah, I see. So you think he's the one providing for me?
Why, yes, of course. If you won't show your husband and his $7,000 per month salary the respect he deserves, he doesn't need you in his life.
Wait, what? $7,000 a month?
If you don't like the thought of him washing his hands of you, then I suggest you apologize to me and let me live with you. Of course, I'll let you tell you where the new house is after that. If you get on your knees, apologize, and let me live with you, I'll tell you where our new house is. Oh man, you're even more detached from reality than I thought.
Wait, did you just tell me to get down on my knees and apologize over text message? What do you want, a picture?
Yep, a picture will do just fine. I'll even give you the time to clean the floor beforehand so you don't get dirty. Aren't I kind?
That one's gonna have to be a no.
What? You dare to defy me? But why?
Because I have no reason to do that.
Vicky, you really are the most stubborn person I've ever met. Do you want my son to divorce you? I mean it. He'll do it.
Yes, actually, I do. I've had enough of this crap.
What?
Sure thing. Divorce with my $700 a month salary husband is A-okay with me.
Excuse me? $700?
Yes, that's how much James brings home every month. $700. He does only work part-time at a convenience store after all.
Wait a second. What in God's name are you talking about? James's salary is $7,000 a month.
Where did you hear that?
James told me himself. When I asked him how much he makes, he made a 7 with his fingers.
So basically, he never actually verbalized this $7,000 figure you seem to be obsessed with.
Huh?
For some reason, it never occurred to you that him showing you a 7 could mean $700, did it? Incredibly, you immediately managed to convince yourself he was talking thousands without even getting confirmation. James makes $700 a month, and that's the cold, hard truth of the matter. To think you kicked up such a fuss over such a ridiculous misunderstanding. You know what? If James is the kind of guy who will let his mother get away with acting like this, then he's not the kind of person I need in my life. He can disappear and we can never see each other again for all I care.
Fine. Have it your way. I don't need a daughter-in-law like you pathological liar.
Great. Divorce it is. Let's do this.
Fantastic. I couldn't be happier. Now, without you getting in our way, my dream can finally become a reality. This means me and James get to live in the fully detached 3-bedroom house with a 1-acre back garden and swimming pool he bought without any of your unwanted meddling.
Unfortunately for you, it doesn't mean that at all. You'll be returning that house to its rightful owner.
Huh? Return it? To its rightful owner? Vicky, what in heaven's name is going on here? Explain yourself. Your brother just showed up and told me to get out of our new house.
He finally arrived then.
So you do know about this then? What's going on?
What's going on is you and James are living in my brother's house without permission.
Excuse me?
My brother Gavin always dreamed of owning his own home from a young age. He was so committed that he worked super hard to save up the money with a bunch of part-time jobs, starting when he was 16 in high school. 10 years later, he finally realized his dream of buying a house as a single 26-year-old guy. Pretty impressive, right? Anyway, to cut a long story short, that's the house you and James are currently living in illegally.
What? What are you talking about?
However, in a stroke of unfortunate timing, Gavin's workplace put him on a 3-year work transfer to a company HQ in New York a week after he bought it, so he never actually got the chance to move in. He left me with a spare key so I could check in on the place every now and then while he was away. But it would appear James took it from the safe behind my back.
What the?
I have no idea what James told you, but the real owner of that house is my brother. When he came back home to carry out his routine maintenance of clearing the weeds out in the garden, cleaning the place up, and checking for repairs, he realized someone was living there. Obviously, he was going to tell you to get the hell out, given you're a complete stranger to him and are living in his house illegally.
Oh my god, what the hell am I supposed to do now?
How about you just get the hell out like my brother told you to? There's no way you can worm your way out of this one, and we'll be forced to take extreme measures if you do anything stupid like try to hole yourself up in there. So it's obvious your only solution is to get out and find somewhere else to stay.
No, wait. You have to tell your brother. You have to tell him to give this house to me and James.
What?
You're my husband's wife, which makes me your mother-in-law, which means you have a sworn duty to do exactly as I tell you at all times, with no questions asked.
Hey, Tina, the Stone Age called. It wants its worldview back. Anyway, none of what you're saying makes any sense. Me and James aren't even married anymore.
What?
I just got done handing them in. The divorce papers, that is.
You did what? But James didn't even sign them.
Oh, how little you know. Actually, he signed them ages ago.
What are you talking about?
He quit his company half a year ago without saying a word to me about it.
Huh? This is the first I've heard of it.
I was annoyed with him, but at the same time, I knew he could hardly just walk in and get his job back. So I had no choice but to find full-time work myself to keep us afloat with the bills in the meantime. There was no way I was going to let him sit around on the sofa eating potato chips all day. So I told him to find a part-time work while looking for something with more hours. But a whole month later, and he still hadn't shown any sign of seriously looking for full-time work. He did get a part-time job at a convenience store, and he did occasionally find day labor jobs here and there. But other than that, he spent all his time at home playing his stupid mobile games and eating junk food. I knew we couldn't go on like that. So I told him if he hadn't found another full-time job within the next 5 months, we were getting a divorce, and made him sign a set of divorce papers in case the day came when I had to hand them in. His time ran out, so I divorced him. Pretty simple, really. Do you understand now?
Oh my god. Does that mean the $700 a month you were talking about? Does that mean that's his actual salary?
Why not ask him yourself? And try getting him to say the answer this time? Me and James are strangers now, so it's not my place to be discussing his finances with you.
Oh,
Oh, and one more thing. My brother called the cops on you.
the cops!
Obviously, you're living in a complete stranger's house without permission. Do I really have to tell you that's against the law? Hurry up and get out of my brother's house, you deranged weirdo. I have nothing more to say to you.
Vicky, no! Please, I'm begging you.
Goodbye.
Hey, sis. How are things going on your end?
Great. My new apartment is ready to be moved into. Now all I gotta do is pack my things.
I see. Nice.
What are you gonna do about your house? It's kind of sad such a huge damper got put on things before you even got the chance to move in.
Right? Look, that's what I messaged you to talk about, actually. Turns out I had a little unforeseen stroke of luck. The price of land in the area shot up recently, so luckily I was able to sell it for pretty much the same price as I bought it for.
Wow, really? That's great.
I got my compensation, or rather my inconvenience money from a unwelcome guest. So once my placement in New York is over, I'm gonna find something even better.
I see. I'm so relieved you didn't suffer any losses as a result of this whole thing.
No kidding. Look, it's gonna be a fresh start for you too, right sis? I'm so excited to see how things turn out for you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Alright, well, I'll catch you later. Hey, tell you what, how about we hang out together at your new place once things calm down for me at work? I can't promise when that'll be, but let's make it happen.
That sounds great. Let's do it. See you later. Tina and James got taken away in the back of a cop car after my last message. Then, they were taken to Tina's uncle's place out in the countryside after calling him from the police station in a desperate panic. Needless to say, he wasn't pleased about having to drive 6 hours to bail his niece out of a jail cell. Apparently, James lied to his mom about having just bought a new house. Between that and the whole issue with the mistaking of $700 for $7,000, relations between mother and son disintegrated, and they began fighting every single day. Their uncle, who they were now living with, was already furious about having them to bail them out and put up at his house. A former kickboxer, he roundhouse kicked James across the room in a rage before ordering the two of them to find jobs ASAP on threat of being kicked out and made homeless. With the disappearance of the terrible two from my life, peace and harmony was restored to my existence. And not only that, But the company I'd been working for offered me a proper long-term contract, replete with tons of added employment benefits, which meant I was able to kickstart my new life from a place of safety and security. Woohoo! And by the way, my ex-mother-in-law showed up and kicked the front door down on my brother's old house one day, 3 months after he sold it. Needless to say, she was charged a hefty sum in damages by the landlord and taken away in the back of a cop car. Again.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.